Here we have a new 2025 Chevy Trax. This one comes in the 1LT trim level in the beautiful cypress gray. And then we have jet black with blue accented cloth interior. For the powertrain, we get a 1.2 liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine, and that's made it to a 6-speed automatic transmission. So not any huge changes since we got that nice big redesign in 24. But as we come around the front end here, we do get our LED daytime running lights along with our LED headlamps. And they just did such a great job with this design, making this front fascia look futuristic yet modern to compete with everybody else like the Kona, the Kia Soul, things of that nature. Down here we get the 17-inch painted machine aluminum wheels. Really like that design there. Now this one has the convenience package, so we do get the passive keyless entry on the front. Power door lock controls are here. Power mirror or power window controls, power mirror controls there. Love the trim, just having that white kind of two-tone with the black and then having this here. It's just a nice look in my opinion. Headlamp controls are there. Get a manual tilt and telescoping steering wheel. Hood release here. And then here's our manual driver's seat. So this is 6-way, so we can pump the seat up and down, move the seat back, forward and back, and then move the seat bottom forward and back as well. Want to give a big thank you to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description. And if you're looking to get the best price on one of these in your area, just make sure you click on that second link down below. And then it takes a minute to fill out that info. I'll make sure your local dealers are fighting to get you that best price on a new Trax. This one stickers for $24,985, and one of the reasons you can't even really get a hold of these is because you get such a good deal here. You're getting 28 miles per gallon city, 32 highway. It's a turbo 3-cylinder, but this thing gets up, and I know that from personal experience. And you just have a very well utilized vehicle here. So I'm 6'3". I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, and sitting back here, my knees are just barely touching the back of the seat in this compact SUV. So there's that. Headroom, I have an inch or two of that. You get a USB-C, USB-A charge port there, a little storage. There's a look at the front. We do get that 11-inch infotainment screen, which we'll delve into here in a moment. And then we get that 8-inch driver information center, excuse me, right there. Now we don't have a fold down in the middle, but we do have a grab handle here. We could probably hang a plastic hanger or a couple metal hanger hooks there. And then the other thing is we don't have the seat back pocket, so you'll just have to make do with that. We do get capless fuel filler. And then as we come around to the back end here, there's a look at that. No LEDs, but still a nice looking rear end. And then we have the rear park assist integrated in that rear bumper there. And there's a spare there. Now that one is gonna be a 16-inch, so it's not a full-size spare, but it is a donut that'll fit and get the job done. And then we do have a storage pocket over there if you wanna have stuff in the back, but you don't want it rolling around here in the cargo area here. And then your top tethers for the car seats. Now as we come around to the rear passenger side, pretty easy to fold the seat down, pull there, it'll fold flat. You can run longer objects if you so choose, and then your bottom anchors are right behind here. So they're kind of deep in there, but makes it easier to kind of have the seat looking good when you don't have the car seat, and then kind of makes it more secured when you do have the car seat. And then our manual front passenger seats here. And I will say, I just like how this one's equipped. We have another package as well that includes the adaptive cruise, the blind spot monitors and all that. And I feel like that's a must have because the price is, I think it's like $795 for the driver confidence. And just being able to have the blind spot monitors and have your adaptive cruise control, I just think it's worth it. But there's that 1.2 liter turbocharged 3-cylinder. I also like that we get a traditional automatic transmission here as opposed to a CVT, and we're still getting pretty decent fuel economy. let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat here. So leather wrap steering wheel. There's the horn. Now over here to the radio, we get AM, FM, XM, Bluetooth, and then on top of that, we have wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility. Our settings here, we can go through our system settings, change our units of measurement there from US to metric, and then we can also change our language, date and time, and all that manually. Traction control is actually in the screen if you ever need that. And then I like the gauges here because we can have the trip meter there, and then you can see your battery voltage, the coolant, and then you have your tire pressure monitors, your oil life, and then your air filter life right in there. So everything that you would need is right there in the screen, and it's very easy to get to. Backup cameras there, guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. You can turn those off just by touching this here. Camera's okay, it's not the best, but it's not terrible. Volume knobs there, you can click that to turn the audio off. And then down here we have our single zone automatic climate control. So fan speed can be adjusted there. Temperature, we can turn that auto mode on there, cut the whole system off, fan direction, and then we have 3-stage heated seats, which I think they did such a good job basically putting this in any trim for the most part. You can get your heated seats in the Trax. 12 volt there, USB-C, USB-A port, auto stop toggle, lane keep assist, and then for the shifter, grab the lever, reverse, neutral drive. You have that limiter, you can manually shift there, and it'll show you what gear you're in the middle part at the bottom of the gauge cluster. And then your electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. Bottle holders are there. Center console cubby space, pretty deep pocket, and I like that you have the additional storage there as well. There's a look at the back seat from up here. Vanity mirror, no light, but it's there. Now back to the steering wheel. Blinkers, auto high beams, you can toggle those there. The regular high beams, you can turn those on or off or flash there. And then we do have intermittent wipers, so one time off, intermittent low high. We can adjust that intermittent frequency there, and then our rear wiper is right there. Push back for the rear wiper fluid, pull up for the front wiper fluid. Now behind the steering wheel on the left side, we can toggle the radio stations or track list, radio station presets or track list, excuse me. And then on this side, volume up or down. Now again, we do get the adaptive cruise with how this one is equipped, so we can turn that on or off there, adjust the gap for that here, and then our heated steering wheel toggles there, and then, you know, works like regular cruise, all of the other buttons, increasing the speed, setting the speed, and canceling. And then voice recognition, mute button, and then we have a shortcut for the audio sources, and then our Bluetooth button there. And then depending on where we are, we can use this as a scroll. So if I turn that on there, I can use that to kind of scroll through my audio sources. And then my favorite thing to do is changing the face of the gauge cluster. So we do that just by holding that button there, and then we can scroll through those options right in there. Push button start. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. And next, let's go ahead and take this 2025 Chevy Trax LT out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Trax here, the 1.2 Turbo 3, you have a 1.3 turbo option, but the 1.2 here, I really like that you get very good fuel economy and you get a nice pull from the turbocharger here. Even with it only having 3 cylinders, it feels relatively powerful for a vehicle like this. And I actually like the sound that you get. You kind of, when you come out of a corner, you get that low growl, and then it just slowly starts to get a little whine to it. Not where it's overly annoying, but again, I just like the sound. But we're gonna go ahead and give it a nice pull here. Not gonna floor it, but I'm not gonna be gentle with it either. So emerging power is decent. You won't win any races with it, but I like it. Again, you're able to get 32 miles per gallon on the highway, 28 city, with a 3-cylinder engine. And even with the turbocharger, this isn't a BMW, so it's not meant to race. This is meant to be efficient and just make sure you're not out here struggling to accelerate. But the ride is very good. Again, I said this in the walk around part, highly recommend the adaptive cruise control, getting that option there with the confidence package, having the blind spot monitors. And I just like how this one's equipped with the dual zone automatic climate controls. Everything in here seems premium for under $25,000, and that's a big plus. The only thing I'm hearing in terms of noises is where the back license plate cover isn't screwed in all four. It's just the top two is just blowing a little bit where it's windy out, but other than that, no weird out of place sounds. Now for the price point, I think you get a steal when it comes to how much you're paying for one of these. Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro here offers a lifetime powertrain warranty, which if you're worried about the 3-cylinder turbo engine, that covers pretty much everything you can worry about in terms of the reliability of the engine. So if you don't think that these will hold up to a traditional 4-cylinder or to a V6 or whatever, you have that extra layer of coverage if for whatever reason these just start to fail. But they have a pretty good track record so far. Haven't heard of any big issues of the turbo failing or the engines failing, so. But again, you have that coverage if you get one from here. Now, if you're not looking to travel this far, wherever you are, and you're still trying to get the best price on one of these, just make sure you click that second link down below in the description. Takes a minute to fill out the info, and I'll make sure the dealers in your area are fighting to get you that best price on one of these. And honestly, there probably won't be that big of a discount, but if there is, that's great. But honestly, for what you get here, paying sticker for this isn't bad. $25,000 and you get all of this: the wireless CarPlay, the wireless Android Auto, the adaptive cruise, your standard lane keeping system, your blind spot monitors. And again, nice looking car, especially in this Cypress gray here. And the cloth seats, they don't feel cheap. They don't look cheap either. The material's very nice. It looks really cool. Something I would expect in maybe like the RS trim level, but having it here in the LT is fantastic. And it's just a nice looking vehicle. You have LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights. And again, that fuel economy, you can't beat that while also having a traditional 6-speed automatic as opposed to a CVT. Just makes this more fun to drive. It feels more like a normal car. And I don't necessarily think vehicles with CVTs are meant to be throwaway cars, but I feel like especially just older Nissans, reliability, you know, the reputation, I should say, that it built up, the CVTs and those older models, people just assume that cars with CVTs are meant to be thrown away. But no, you just have to maintain them. And that's the same thing that you need out of these as well. You need to maintain these and make sure you're flushing the fluids when you need to, and just follow the maintenance schedule. And these cars will last you a long time. That's how most vehicles are made. But still a great SUV, even in 2025. And this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 Chevy Trax in the LT trim level.